For 5 days, the 5 days of this campaign, the Prime Minister has been going around the country talking about his dear mum, who was an invalid pensioner, and flashing his Medicare card and claiming the coalition would rip it up.
They hated the idea that this little card here would be able to give the same health care to a billionaire that it gives to an invalid pensioner.
Now, I find that claim actually very strange, not least because Medicare bulk billing rates have actually fallen under Albanese, who also slashed in half the number of Medicare sessions the poor could get with a psychologist. Billionaires do get better care. Joining me is my Tuesday regular, Matt Canavan. And Matt, I've got to say, I'm amazed that you have the hide to show your face on this show when your coalition, I'm told, is going to destroy Medicare, really stick it up those invalid pensioners. Apparently you hate seeing invalid pensioners get the same care as a Malcolm Turnbull. Tell me about your secret plans to destroy Medicare.
Well, I think, Andrew, the Prime Minister is under the delusion that people trust what he says or even what most politicians say. I think what people are interested in is what politicians do, not what they say. And the Prime Minister, since he's been in office, has made Medicare worse, not better. That's what the facts show. When he came to office, the bulk billing rate, that's the rate of people being able to charge as the Medicare rebate, not having to pay anything on top, the bulk billing rate was sitting at 90% under the coalition government. It's fallen to lower than 80% under his watch, and now he's on a last-ditch, desperate effort to pump billions more into Medicare to make up for his failings in government. The question has to be asked is, if he cared about Medicare so much, why didn't the Prime Minister fix this in the last 3 years? Why is he just making these promises in the last 3 weeks as his job is on the line? And the other point to make here, Andrew, is we're only going to have a strong Medicare system, a strong health system, if we have a strong economy. If we don't have a strong economy, we won't have the revenue to pay for what we need, particularly as things become more expensive and people live longer. Under his watch, of course, our productivity's fallen through the roof, our GDP growth has been stagnant, we've gone backwards in terms of economic growth per person, partly because he's bringing in so many people to this country. So we have fewer resources to devote to the protection health of our people with a stronger economy under Anthony Albanese. With a weaker economy under Anthony Albanese.
Can I assure viewers that, Matt, the reason you're in such a colourful area is not because you can't wait to get back on the beers, but you've been just coming off a political event at the pub, and for that we are very grateful. Matt, amazing news. The Albanese government's Energy Minister, Chris Bowen, you and I have been wondering what rock they've been hiding him under. Been very quiet in this campaign, almost invisible. Now it seems he's actually been secretly making ads to get people to vote for Peter Dutton. Take this.
He wants to say no to our plan to get to 82% renewables, supported by gas peaking, new transmission and storage.
Boy, you'd be grateful for that shout out, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, exactly, Andrew. He's hiding under a rock. I think it's called Blue Sky there on the internet. He's deleted his own X account, doesn't want people to see or reply to that. He was copying it online on that platform because of his failure to control our energy system. I am here at a political event. I'm here at Michelle Landry's campaign launch here in Rockhampton. She's going for her 5th term. And I was speaking to the publican here, Robin, at Cocoa Brew in Rockhampton. His power bill has doubled in the last few years. That's the record of Chris Bowen. So the more Chris Bowen talks and says is out there, the better for us, because he's been a complete and utter failure. The Prime Minister this week has walked away. He's dumped his energy modelling that he promised at the last election, used to promise those lower power bills. Well, I don't think the Prime Minister should be dumping his energy modelling. He should be dumping Chris Bowen, because he's been an absolute failure. And it shows here in that video there that Chris Bowen is more interested in hitting an arbitrary target, like of 82%, who cares, 82% of renewable energy, than he is of hitting a cost of living target, than he is of hitting a target of lower power prices. He did set another target. He set a target of cutting your power bills by $275. He's failed at that. He's failed as an energy minister. And because the Prime Minister won't remove him, the only way you can do that is to remove the Prime Minister at the election.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing. I mean, I saw the Prime Minister try to blame supermarkets for inflation this week. I mean, what a joke. You talk about power prices for that publican going up double. That feeds into the price of beer. It has to. I mean, that is what's hurting people.
exactly right, Andrew. And the Prime Minister couldn't even define what price gouging was. He says he's going to ban it, but he can't even say what it was. Well, I think people understand what price gouging is the price gouging that's happened by the ineptitude of this government. It's the price gouging that occurs when we have a government that can't control its energy system. Not just the cost of beer, the cost of milk, the cost of cheese, the cost of everyday items, all goes through the roof. That's the gouging that Australians have suffered under. It's not the supermarkets. They haven't just woken up in the last few years to this. It's the thing that's changed in the last few years is the government of Australia and their mismanagement of our economy and our energy system.
Matt Canavan, I'll let you get back to your grateful public over there. Thank you so much for your time.